There is not a lot of video of my mother, but every once in a while someone would take a video of her giving a speech, and I think there is a video of her talking about how she met my father. Now, this is the story she told me. She said she went to Boston for graduate school. My mother went to Simmons Library College, and she and some of her co-ed girlfriends were invited to this party.
I was invited to a party by one of Wade's friends, a young man who had not yet been drafted. And he came and picked me up and took me to the party. But before we went to the party, we went by Wade McCree's house, where his mother lived. His father was away in Chicago on some narcotics assignment. And Wade was home that weekend on a weekend pass, his first weekend pass. He was a rank buck private, no stripes, no anything, just a soldier in uniform. And we picked him up and took him to the party. Well, he and his good friend, another brilliant soldier who had been at Harvard Law School the same time he had been, 1 year, was also home that weekend. This other young man had been a Phi Beta Kappa all-A student up at Bowdoin College, and they were good friends and very arrogant, very smart. And they sat there and talked to each other, sometimes in Greek and Latin. They were bragging about how they mystified their officers, their sergeants, by speaking these classical languages to each other in the camp, in the army, and the officers couldn't understand them. They were bragging about how smart they were. I thought this is the most arrogant thing I'd ever seen. I'd come from Wayne. I didn't know men like that here in Wayne, believe me. Anyway, I didn't much care for Wade McCree at that particular time, that particular night. But shortly after, he was in town again and called me up, and we went out on a date, the movies or something. So on his weekend passes, he'd come in town and call me up, and we'd go out. Before too long, however, he was shipped out to Officers Candidate School, and from there on out to Fort Huachuca. So it began back in the fall of 1942.